what I thought I'd owed her, being that I stopped paying, the last payment was in August, and I thought we were done at that time, and nothing is said until I get served this that I still owe her. And several months goes by, and she hasn't.
Well, let me ask you this question, Ms. Dodd. Let's say on the attorney's fees alone, you owe her a couple of $100.
And I know what's owed.
How much was the truck?
It was approximately almost $10,000.
And how much is the loan?
Your Honor, I'm just telling you, I just paid $5,000 on it, and there's still $7,000 owed. So it was not $10,000 when she bought it.
That was the purchase price, but with the interest, it makes the price. It doesn't seem like it ever goes down.
Well, why are you sticking her with that obligation?
It's not that I'm sticking her with that.
Yes, you are. You are.
Back in November, when I was released from work, I made the payment in November faithfully with what was headed to go on disability. I tried to make it.
Did you buy another vehicle?
We purchased another vehicle.
Who's we?
My husband and I.
Well,
but that was done.
Just a second. How could you purchase another vehicle?
That was done before all of this even happened.
You're paying on another vehicle unless you
that was my responsibility. Yes, it was. I paid on that vehicle. We purchased another vehicle because my husband has a job, and he purchased another vehicle prior to all of this happening.
Miss Dodd, that's not fair. You assumed another responsibility, you and your husband, knowing that you had a prior responsibility to her to pay for this older truck. What vehicle did you purchase?
2004 Excursion.
So you purchased a brand new car, and what were your payments on the brand new car? 73. And what were your payments on this car?
$366. But I had no intention to give up the white truck. I intended to keep it, hopefully give it to my son when he finished high school. There was no intention to just say, here, I bought a new truck, I'm giving you this one back. That's not what I was going to do.
What did she say to you?
She called me the day they purchased the truck and told me she needed the account number or my social security number because they were going to trade the truck in. Then the next day she called me and said that they bought the truck anyways.
Just a second, they were going to trade the truck in.
Correct, but and then the next day she said they didn't trade it in. They purchased the truck, the Excursion, but they didn't trade it in because they only wanted to give her $4,000 anyways. Now they had, and when I asked her what she was going to do with the truck, the white truck, she said we're going to have to make the payments on both. We don't have a choice.
Did she make payments on both the next month?
No.
I made the payment in November for that truck, and I paid the registration on that truck with the intent to keep the truck. Yeah, I did want to try to see if I could trade it in because I have a little car at home. But when they said no, well, I wanted to get her name off of everything entitled with.
Well, why didn't you do that?
They wouldn't give me what the truck is worth, and I thought, okay, I'll keep it. Why not? That's what my intention was.
So
I did. And I made the payment faithfully in November. I paid the registration.
What happened in December?
I found out at the end of November that I was not going to be returning to work, and I had no income to pay. And I even attempted to sell it, and she wouldn't let me. She said she just couldn't do that right now because it was going to be taken over by a family member she knows that's very responsible. And he would put it in his name, but to give him a couple weeks, and so she.
Manager Karen Harris is suing her ex-boyfriend, construction salesman Steve Tierley, for unpaid rent and for money she loaned him to feed his children. Steve says Karen is crazy.
Ms. Harris, you briefly had a relationship, according to what I read, with Mr. Tierley. And you claim that he stayed in your house for 2 weeks, for which he owes you expenses.
Yes, Your Honor.
And in addition, you say he owes you some money for SWAT.
You hit it.
You may be right. Why did he move into your house?
Vic pretty much showed up at my house in tears with his 2 little children.
So you said, come on in.
What else could I do?
Good. Did they have a spare room for them?
No.
Where did he sleep?
On the floor.
Where did his children sleep?
On the floor.
And after 2 weeks, he left?
Yes.
Now, how much did he say he would pay you for the 2 weeks that he stayed in your house?
He just offered to give me some money. He said that I can pay you some money, and it wasn't
This loan was. You want to tell me about it?
He said that he needed some money. He said that he didn't have any food for his children, and
so
I gave him some money because I was afraid that he wasn't going to be able to feed his children.
Good. How much did you give him?
50.
Of his children?
He asked me to borrow the money, and I agreed that I would lend him the money, and he agreed that he would pay me back.
Tell me about the conversation.
Well, he said that, he needed some money, and I said that I would agree to lend him the money, and when I agreed to lend some of the money, then I expect him to pay me back, and he did agree to pay me back. So it was a loan.
Did you give you $50, sir?
Yes, she did, Your Honor.
Okay. Did you give it back to her?
Dinner, drinks, lunch. shortly after I stayed at her location, which wasn't 2 weeks. I was only there for 3 or 4 days.
That the plaintiff has tried to sue you before for something.
Yes, she has, Your Honor, and I have paperwork here.
Can I see the paperwork for the
I like
prior
that.
lawsuit?
It was a loan for a futon, which was, the case was dismissed. I paid her back. That has the receipts and everything right there.
You sued him for this $50 already.
But when he paid me exactly for the futon, he did not pay for any of the other things.
That doesn't make any difference, madam. Your lawsuit that was dismissed sought as a claim